Maybe you know this feeling. You are sitting in your car in the driveway. The engine is off, but your mind is still racing at 100 miles per hour. You are thinking about that one comment your boss made. You are replaying a mistake you made in a meeting 3 hours ago. It feels like if you aren't producing, you aren't existing. When the work goes well, you feel like a giant. When the work goes poorly, you feel like a failure as a person. Your title has become your name. Your salary has become your worth. It is an exhausting way to live. You are more than your output. You are more than your performance. I want you to know that you are seen in this struggle. The pressure is real, but your value is not found in a spreadsheet.
There is a specific word for the person who is working themselves into the ground. It is found in Psalm 127, verse 2. The New Living Translation says it like this: "It is useless for you to work so hard from early morning until late at night, toiling for food to eat. For God gives rest to his loved ones." Notice that. God doesn't give rest to the most productive. He gives it to his loved ones. Your status as a loved one comes before you ever clock in.
We have been conditioned to believe that we are what we do. If someone asks who you are, you probably tell them what your job is. There is a story in the Bible about a man named Peter. He was a professional fisherman. His entire identity was tied to the sea. One night, he worked for hours. He threw the nets. He pulled them back. He did everything right. But he caught absolutely nothing. Can you imagine the weight of that? The feeling of being a fisherman who can't catch fish. The feeling of being a failure at the one thing you are supposed to be good at. Jesus didn't wait for Peter to have a full boat before he called him. He met Peter right there in his empty boat. He didn't ask to see his resume. He didn't ask why the nets were empty. He just called him friend.
Let's try an honest reframe. Work is a tool. It is a way to provide. It is a way to serve. But it is a terrible God. If your identity is in your work, you are always one bad quarter away from a crisis of soul.
Think about this. A person who has lost their ability to work is still 100% a human being. They are still worthy of love. They are still precious. If they are valuable without their work, then you are too. You have a life outside of that office. You have a soul that needs to be fed by something other than a paycheck. You are a child of God who happens to have a job, not a worker who happens to have a soul.
Take a moment to let that sink in. Your loved one status is secure. Even if the project fails, even if the job ends. Let's take a breath together. Let's speak to the one who loved us before we ever had a title. God, I am here. I am breathing. And I am tired. I am acknowledging the heavy weight I have been carrying. I feel like I am only as good as my last success. I feel like if I stop for even a second, I will fall behind. I name the fear that lives in my chest. The fear of not being enough. The fear of being replaced. The fear that I am just a number in a system. I admit that I have let my work consume me. I have let it steal my sleep. I have let it steal my presence with my family. I have let it become the thing that defines me. Right now, in this quiet space, I surrender my title. I surrender my reputation. I surrender the need to be the smartest person in the room. I am releasing the grip I have on my career. I am placing my future in your hands. I release the lie that I am in total control. I release the pressure to be a machine. I am asking for your help today. I need a very specific kind of peace. Give me the courage to walk away from the computer when the day is done. Give me the wisdom to know when I have done enough. Help me to see the people around me as more than obstacles or assets. Help me to be a human being tonight. Let me find joy in the things that have nothing to do with my career. Teach me how to rest without feeling guilty. I want to say thank you. Thank you that I am more than my mistakes. Thank you for the talents you have given me. But thank you even more that your love doesn't depend on how I use them. I am grateful for the empty net moments. They remind me that I need you. I am grateful for the life I have outside of my responsibilities. Thank you for the friends who love me for my laugh and not my work. Thank you for the quiet moments that remind me I am alive. I am choosing to believe that I am your loved one. I am choosing to believe that you provide for me even when I sleep. I am leaving the work in your hands. I am leaving the bills in your hands. I am coming home to myself. I am coming home to you. Amen. Thank you for joining me in the grace space. Remember, you are a person, not a process. If you are struggling with the balance of work and life today, tell us about it in the comments. We want to pray for you. Real life, real struggles, real grace. Come back whenever you need a quiet moment.